check.
What's going on, everybody?
This
is the Scarves and Spikes podcast, soccer podcast. If you guys don't know, if you're just here for Copa America and you have found yourself in this bar, you have become part of a live podcast at this point. So,
whether you like it or not.
Yeah, we're talking soccer, we're talking Argentina,
Vamos Argentina,
Canada, talking everything Copa America. I see we got some Canadians up here.
The one Canadian fan I've seen all day.
Y'all outnumbered, man. Outnumbered.
By your applause, how many Argentina fans are in the building?
There you go. There you go. Make some noise.
How many Canadian fans are in the building?
There's three.
Just
three Canadian fans. All right, so
some Mexican fans, by the way. So.
Yeah, there we go. Tyler Pilgrim alongside Tony Leon, Sydney Hunt. We, again, Scarves and Spikes podcast, so we got to do the quick pay the bills moment. Go to YouTube, go to Twitter, go to Instagram, go follow Scarves and Spikes. We would appreciate it mucho. Yes. And thank you to the Signia Hotel. Thank you to the Nest on 4 Bar for hosting this and being the perfect group of people to spend the afternoon watching some soccer with. So let's get into it. Get into it. Y'all get you a drink and let's settle in.
If you're joining us online, by the way, we see you're commenting. We're having some internet issues on my computer. I'm just kind of viewing the comments as they come in, but internet's a little slow up here, so just bear with us just in case. But Tyler, Tony, you guys ready?
I'm ready.
Copa America.
So who's playing? I only see a sea of blue out there. I don't know if there's another opponent for Messi and Argentina to face.
Some country up north.
There is a sea of blue and white outside. If you could only see the scenes that are going on behind us right now, this is the biggest precursor for the World Cup that you could ask for.
Yeah. The red shirts I saw were Atlanta United.
Yeah.
And I don't think they're playing them.
Nope. Got a little bit of hometown crowd in here, which is great.
Yeah.
Argentina, Thiago Almada fans, anybody? I know Messi's going to be the one.
LGP is here in the house.
Fans.
Hey, that's true. LGP, yeah. Nobody. Look, I know y'all are here for the big guys, but you got to give some love to Thiago, all right?
Yeah.
So let's dive into it, right? This is the opener. It's a historic moment in Atlanta. Again, kind of the precursor for the World Cup. You've got maybe this is a test run. You've got the U.S. coming here in a week. You had the She Believes Cup a month and a half ago. So you've got a lot going on here in the city of Atlanta as we build up to what's going to be the biggest World Cup ever. What is y'all's first thoughts overall?
Yeah, it's exciting times. I see, Mercedes-Benz Stadium is right behind us. The crowd's starting to trickle in just a little bit. And as you said, Tyler, very blue and white tinted crowd for now. I see a smattering of red. So that might tell you a little bit about how much the crowd will be inside the stadium. But gosh, 70,000 fans in the stadium, with Argentina, one of the biggest countries in the world when it comes to soccer. Canada, an up-and-comer, not just in CONCACAF, but really on some of the global soccer scene, really on the rise. A lot of talent in this ranks as well. So we kind of joke about it, so we don't want to dismiss Canada completely, but it is great to see really Mercedes-Benz Stadium. It has been on the world stage already, but now even more with Argentina, Canada, and the Copa America.
Absolutely. I think to second that point, what a great introduction, not only for Copa America, but also the Mercedes-Benz as a backdrop to play for these tournaments coming up. I don't think you could ask for a better stadium, a better fan experience, and I think we're kind of spoiled, not only with this being our home field advantage right here as an Atlanta United fan, but also seeing Argentina coming up here for the first match kicking off Copa America. I feel like everybody else that's playing after this is going to be spoiled by this session here and is going to compare their football experience to everything else that we have going on today.
The roof is closed, by the way. It will be closed tonight, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, that's okay. Nobody wants to be in that heat anyway. One of the things that stood out to me, and I know everybody here that's actually going to the Benz in a little bit. First of all, if you're not from here, welcome to Atlanta. We have to say welcome. It's so awesome to see so many different cultures, so many different countries, so many different people coming here into our city for such a big event. But what's really cool to me that stood out was driving in. I think maybe sometimes we take it for granted. It's a little easy for us to take such a place because we get to come see Atlanta United play, week in and week out, and it's a beautiful thing. But you see driving in so many people that are seeing this place for the first time. And they're having their tourist moment. They're taking the pictures.
Right.
They haven't even made it inside yet, but it's such a spectacle. And there's a reason that this place was chosen for the opener and why it was chosen for so many games in the World Cup.
100%. I have never seen so many Latinos show up early to an event other than today. That is, in my own life, I've never seen anything like this. But when the Lord Messi comes,
you got to show up.
You got to show up.
Exactly. So as a quick kind of pulse check of everybody that's in here, how many of you are from Atlanta? Raise your hand. I see one from Atlanta, one over here cheering.
Got a couple from Atlanta.
How many of you from out of town? If you are, where are you from? Where are you from?
To our left.
Canada.
Y'all okay? But you're wearing.
She's double necking it. She's got the
Canadian.
Okay,
house divided scarf. Okay. Where else are people from?
Philadelphia.
Okay. Miami,
of course.
Awesome.
You brought Messi with you on that flight.
There you go.
How many are from Argentina? How many are here from Argentina?
Hey,
That's awesome. Yeah, you guys just talked about it. Like the world is watching, and so many people from so many different countries are here in Atlanta tonight. Over the next few days, really.
Grab a shot for the net.
So it's awesome.
Take that back. I think this is gonna. Honestly, I feel like this match right here. Are we going to see a Saudi Arabia situation? I don't think so. This is just me hoping.
Look, guys, Canada, I'm sorry, but hey, if y'all can do what they did in the opener of the World Cup, then hey, more power to you.
Right.
Just catch Messi offside about 600 times. I like it.
There's a ton of records, though, up for grabs here, specifically on Messi's behalf, but also Argentina looking at their 16th Copa America.
Yep.
Hopefully we can get there, but also. What is Messi 5 goals shy for all-time leader on the Copa America? I think so.
Yeah.
About 5 goals shy there, especially as many caps. Is he going to? I think just this cap alone is going to put him on the leaderboard there.
Yeah.
As far as all-time again on behalf of Argentina. So I think again this is going to be a beautiful precursor not only to Copa America but to all the other tournaments coming up, like you mentioned. And I think we're spoiled here because potentially. Yeah. This could be Messi's last tournament.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Sure could. Now, let me ask you guys this real quick. So, you mentioned Argentina is going for that record in Copa America wins. You also got Uruguay tied with them, so they're looking to break that record. Suarez and company looking to break that record. So, I mean, they could be a good pick to win it too, don't you think?
They are definitely the top 2 contenders. I feel like Uruguay has always. I mean, especially with Luis Suarez. I mean, that is. Yeah. That group chat is going crazy, and that those two are going to be gunning for it as well. Not only for, the nod as far as championships, but also potential golden boot there with Copa America. So Uruguay for sure. Also, I think Colombia and Ecuador are 2 sleepers.
Yeah.
Colombia for sure. What about you? Or I was dealing with business. Did you answer already?
Not really, but yeah, I mean, we're just kind of talking about who could win. I mean, to me, just early on, I think you can't bet against Argentina, of course. But I just mentioned Uruguay, Colombia is another team you guys were talking about as well. So I think either one of those 3 could win. I know they always shows up for Copa America too, so they could do some damage as well. But I think when it's all said and done, Argentina is going to win that 16th to break
a name that we did not mention that none of us mentioned was Brazil.
Yeah, Brazil. I know, right? I was just about to think. It's kind of funny after the U.S. played the other day, and then you have Ronaldinho coming out saying he's not going to watch Brazil, which is hilarious to me.
He will.
Look, I mean, Brazil's great. You can never count them out, but they're not. Recently, they're not as solid as they have been in years past.
I think that was also attached to like a deodorant ad, something like that. Yeah. He doesn't sweat Brazil.
Yeah.
Some type of cheeky thing like that. Right. I don't know how you could attach that to a campaign, but somehow he did.
That's brilliant, though. That is brilliant.
I'm really looking forward to see what Edric does for Brazil. Of course, he's a young gun coming up for Brazil. Always seems to show up at the big moments for them. Still 17 years old, so this is his first one. He's going to have, 5 or 6 more, 4 or 5 more after this or so. He'll be part of the World Cup in 2026. So that's one of the bright young stars that will be showcased during this tournament in particular. So interested to see what he does.
Hey,
guys,
real
Canada.
quick. Hey, who are y'all here to see? Not, but like on the Canada team, who's your favorite player?
It's got to be Alfonso.
Fonzie.
Hey, there we go.
Good shout. Good shout. Good shout.
All right, so Argentina fans, y'all's opposition's left now. This is all you. This is all you guys now.
We've got a Canadian behind the bar.
Oh, I'm so sorry. My bad.
Davies is another player I'm looking at too.
They are sorty as well.
So, yeah, I mean, here's the thing. For this specific match, you have a ton of talent, obviously, on the Argentina side. Canada's form recently has not been the best.
Which is why they got a new head coach.
Yeah.
Yes, exactly.
And honestly, if I'm vying for anything, I'm vying to see what Jesse Marsh is going to do against this juggernaut of a squad that he's having to go up against. One, because I just like the guy. I kind of wanted him to be coaching us in this tournament here.
Yeah.
But alas,
a whole other story that we'll learn about, I'm sure, at another time why he didn't end up with the job.
But, when I was watching Men in Blazers, I was trying to see if he was going to say anything tactically that he was going to do. It was a lot of just like wording. I hope the guys listen to what I have to say.
Beating around the bush.
Yeah, exactly. He's not going to give away any spoilers on this match. But honestly, it's not just to beat him down. I think he could give them the whole cheat sheet and it wouldn't matter.
Yeah, it's tough. I mean, you look at the teams that have studied Argentina, year in and year out, and the talent is just so good. They're so hard to beat. It's going to be incredibly tough to count Argentina out at all. But that's the thing. You bring in Jesse Marsh, you bring in a new coach, you bring in a guy who has some fresh ideas, and it becomes a little bit of a wild card because while you have plenty of time to study what Argentina can do, they don't know your playbook at all because I guarantee you Jesse Marsh is not going to treat the Canada national team the way he's treated many of his clubs before.
Right. Yeah. How do you guys think Canada will do, by the way? How do you guys think Canada will do? How will they fare the tournament? You have to like their chances to get out of the group stage at least, but
I thought scoring predictions were at the end.
Yeah.
I think they make it out of the group stage. I don't know that they make it any further.
That's fair.
Sorry, Canadian fans. I'm so sorry.
Who else is in that? I got to look at that group again. Who else is in that group? I honestly think it's easy to look at the Great White North as the second on that list to go out, but I think I mentioned another squad that I'm looking at. Let me look at the group real quick.
Hey, while you pull that up, look, got to give a quick shout out to the bar.
What you got?
They make a bomb Crown and Coke, apple old fashioned. I think Sydney's going with the Virgin Sprite.
Private Sprite.
But no, go get you a drink. Go get you a drink. They make some good ones. So Canada in the group that they're in.
Salud. That is excellent.
Yeah, that's got some zing to it.
So, I mean,
we're getting there.
We are getting there. So is it
Cool.
Peru and Chile also in that group as well?
Who we got?
I think. Let me see. Because I was going to say another one we've been looking at. It is Peru and Chile as well.
Okay.
And I honestly think if I had my money on it, I'm looking at Argentina and Chile.
Yeah.
I think those two are making it out the group. Honestly, just because new coaching. I'm not saying that Canada, gets smoked, but I don't think they're making it out of here.
No.
I think they edge out Chile. I think it'll be close, but I think, again, going back to the point I made a minute ago, Jesse Marsh coming in, you got a new guy, you got new tactics. Maybe they eke something out in the group stage, and they can push out, Peru, I don't think you have to worry about. Right. Sorry, Luis.
Sorry if you're Peruvian fan.
And sorry any Peruvian fan. But I just don't think they've got it.
If if Canada gets a result tonight, I mean, they'll be over the moon. They really will.
You get a draw tonight. If you're Canada, you're happy for sure.
I think if you get a draw, you're in. You play that same level of intensity with everybody else, you're in. And now that's the thing too, though, right? You go in as Canada, you go into this match. Of course, everybody's gunning towards the target that is on Argentina's back. So no matter what, Argentina is going to be facing their best football matchup with any opponent that faces them. Because again, they're the number one on the docket. Everybody's going to be giving them their best 11 at all times. So anything can happen in the beautiful game. But to say how Canada matches up against everybody else, like I said, if they don't do a good result tonight, I don't think that they're going far anywhere else.
Yeah. Now, you give a good account of yourself in this one, then that still, I think, gives you some confidence. Thank you. Going forward, right? Like you're not. It's not over if you lose this match. Now, if you get, kicked out of the bins, something crazy, 3-4-0.
I was thinking 5-0.
5-0, which is thoroughly possible.
Right?
Your
prediction.
yeah, there it is, 5-0. But I think obviously that's going to kill your confidence. You come out of this and make it a battle, make it a game. All's not lost for Canada at that point.
Absolutely. It's the ping pong of life. You go in, like I said, you do a good result. And I think a draw, quite frankly, anybody will take that against Argentina right now. I mean, they are looking like 2012. 2008 to 2012 Spain right now.
Right.
I mean, they're looking at they're the title holders for this match. For this tournament here. So they are, of course, the top dog to go up against right now. It's like good luck facing that, but ping pong of life. Yeah, if they do well, and I think a draw is a well result, they can take that as momentum for the rest of this group. Whether or not they'll get out, we'll have to see what Chile thinks. I think that's going to be the next runner-up. I've said that already, but I'm always looking for a little wild card here.
Yeah, I'm all for it.
I'm rooting for Jesse Marsch.
Bring me some chaos. Let's go.
I'm rooting for Jesse Marsch.
Let's go. So, Argentina fans, I know everybody here is here to see Messi. I know that. You can
see
cheer.
A lot of tens.
But what other player are y'all excited about seeing in person? For me, it's Alvarez. Alvarez.
Alvarez. Yep.
Who else? Give me a name. Anybody?
Who?
Oh. What? Who?
Basically, and
okay. There you go.
A lot of names, so you shout it out. Okay.
Yeah, we got voices coming in from everywhere.
I like Martinez in goal, to be honest.
Yeah, Debo's the guy.
He's a character.
Absolutely. So I can't wait to see some of his, I'm not going to say the word, his dark arts.
His antics?
Yeah, his antics. What about you? Who you got?
I don't know if I think of one name. Probably, someone mentioned Lautaro Martinez already.
Yeah, well, yeah.
Okay. Yeah, all right with
Lautaro.
that.
That's good.
Lautaro.
Okay.
Lautaro.
We asked, again, some of the Canadian fans who are vastly outnumbered here today, but Alphonso Davies was a big shout for sure. So, Tony,
I know Jonathan David as well coming up for Canada. Jonathan David.
Oh, yeah, Jonathan David.
Jonathan David. Jonathan Osorio, Richie Larea. Yep. Names very familiar to MLS fans, certainly. So, Dane St. Clair is among the two goalkeepers there. I think I didn't see who was starting tonight. Is it St. Clair or?
I don't know.
I haven't seen a release sheet just yet. So if you figure out if they've released that starting 11,
it'll probably be closer to 7 when they release it. But
sometimes for the big matches,
because that was the big question though, if Julian Alvarez was going to start or not.
I think it would be crazy not to.
He's a young kid. I like him.
I'll do too. Hey man, the fact that you are playing as a backup on essentially the world's best team right now, there's something to be said for that. Well, there's something to be said for Manchester City in general because they have that, luxury that you can use Julian Alvarez as a backup striker. It's ridiculous. But at the end of the day, I mean, you could drop Alvarez anywhere in any team on the planet Earth, and he's going to fit right in, and he's going to make that team better instantly. Yeah. I think he has a great game tonight if he plays.
I think he'll definitely play because if there was ever a match for Julian Alvarez to either start or get serious minutes, no offense, I do think it would be against Canada, just to see what he can do. I mean, he's a firecracker. He reminds me a lot of Thiago Almada, and just in the sense of that young energy.
Yep.
There's something about those 20-year-old legs.
Constantly trying to prove himself.
I'm envious of.
You and me both.
What
You
it
and
is
me
to
both.
be, what it is to be 30. But just that, yeah, exactly. Constantly trying to prove himself. And I find that Julian Alvarez does it time after time in these bigger game moments. Whether or not this is a considered big game for them is a whole nother question.
And you got to understand too, though, like there are so many players on this squad. I mean, it essentially has not changed since the World Cup, mostly.
Right.
And then you look at Canada. Canada has a lot of young talent coming up. And yes, they were in the World Cup, but the results were vastly different.
Were they?
Vastly.
You sure about that?
Maybe. I don't know. They were in and out quick. But, you know, you got to think about this, too, and what this tournament means. This is the oldest international tournament in the world, period.
Right.
There is a lot riding on this. And, like, we're in North America. Copa America traditionally, obviously, isn't as big here. It's huge, but it's not. We're not in South America. But now South America is bringing it up here. This is arguably the most important tournament to every country in South America.
Yeah.
And you're going to have to get past the nerves if you're essentially an outsider in Canada, U.S., and Mexico coming to play against these teams. Canada's going to have to get past that tonight.
Right.
But Argentina, they've already been on the biggest stage and won it.
Yeah.
And it's the same players. So
I think, too, with Argentina or Canada, you mentioned the young talent that they have, the young players that they have. No, maybe they don't get it done. They don't make a run that they feel is acceptable to them as a program. That being said, you can look back at this tournament and say, hey, we learned so many lessons against really the best teams in the world. I mean, Argentina, of course, with Peru, maybe not as talented as Argentina, to be honest, and the Chile, which is a sort of mid-table team, as it were, in CONMEBOL. But you can look at it and say, hey, even though we didn't get out of the group stage, even though we didn't make it to the knockout round, we learned so many lessons against, World Cup, past World Cup included. Well, there's so many lessons that we can take into 2026. Like, similar to the United States in the way, like, what is that next step for Canada? For Canada, that next step, as far as the World Cup is concerned, is getting out of that group stage. For the United States, it's much bigger, and I'm sure we'll talk about the U.S. in a moment. But when it comes to this tournament, I mean, how much of an impact do you think they can make on the field? And I think, as you mentioned earlier, they'll be looking to really start to count with themselves with a really young roster.
I think that actually is a nice segue into a question that I was thinking. Who do you think makes it farther, Canada or the United States? Because I think equally they've got a lot riding on just making it out and winning one more game.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, I think the pressure right now is obviously going to be much bigger on the United States just because of who they are and the form that they've had. We can have this conversation about Berhalter all day, but you're hosting the World Cup in a couple of years. And obviously I know Canada and Mexico are as well, but you're the most informed team in CONCACAF right now. So you have to come out. You have to perform. I think this is not meant as an excuse, but Canada, if things don't go well with Jesse Marsch, you could at least say, well, we had a new coach, it didn't work out, and now we're back to the drawing board, but we have time before the World Cup rolls around. If Greg doesn't have a good Copa America, I don't know what you're doing for the next 2 years, because this is where you need to be proving yourself going into 2026.
What's your definition of good, though?
So the U.S., minimum quarterfinal.
Yeah.
Minimum quarterfinal.
No, I agree. If you don't get off you disagree.
What you got?
It's not, I mean, yes, minimum quarterfinal, but that's what I'm saying. You get out of this and then you win one more game. Those Vegas
you
odds.
You have the ability to get to the semifinal.
Well, that's the thing. You're potentially looking at, I think, if I've done my math correctly, you're potentially looking at, if you're United States, either Brazil or Colombia, I believe.
That sounds right.
And I think based off of the Ronaldinho joke we just made, if there's one you're hoping for, it might be Brazil. Colombia's just looking really hot right now.
Colombia just beat the U.S. What was it? Was it 5-1 or 5-0?
Something like that. It
Whatever.
was bad.
It was
Let's forget
bad.
about it.
So I think, the Stars and Stripes can go farther than Canada. But I think to your point, though, Tyler, the pressure is not really on Canada the way that the pressure is for the United States.
Right.
So I don't know if they're playing with house money here, but, we'll see tonight. That's for sure.
Yeah. But I guess, kind of going back to the original question, who makes it further? Certainly the U.S., I think. But I think there's a narrative that they have to make it to the semifinals. I don't necessarily think they have to. And I kind of alluded to earlier, they have the ability to do so. That being said, if they don't, I don't look at it as a total wash for this program. I mean, maybe those that have come in that are already on the Berhalter out bandwagon won't like the fact that they lose in the quarterfinals if that happens. But I feel like that crowd probably won't be happy whatever happens. Like, they make a semifinals, they're going to be like, they played a weak team, or whoever they play wasn't up for it, whatever. So I don't know. You can make them happy, but yeah, I think the U.S. certainly makes it further. But I think we can both agree, all three agree, that if they don't get out the group stage, that's a major problem.
Yeah, if you don't make it out
have to have
of the
some
group stage,
conversations.
Yeah, that's a wrap at that point, in my opinion.
Just to talk about the teams that are playing tonight, you imagine the scenario we would be in if the United States doesn't make it out of the group stage, but Canada does.
Right.
Given the group that they are in, you're looking across the board and you're saying that should have been our guy.
Yeah, 100%. But that is something that U.S. soccer is going to have to come to terms with if it plays out that way. And we haven't even talked about Mexico yet. But
different group.
It is. And had you said 2 or 3 years ago, hey, this is the conversation we're going to be having about 3 countries playing in this tournament that aren't traditionally in this tournament, I think we would be having a much heavier conversation about Mexico. But the U.S. and Canada, if Canada makes it forward, then all eyes at that point are instantly going to be on Jesse Marsch in a good way. And to the inverse of that, you're looking at Greg Berhalter and you're saying, dude, what are we doing? What are we doing?
How do you guys think Mexico does, by the way?
Not great.
To throw that match into the
not great
gas can there.
They've not been a good soccer team in a couple of years.
I think Jimmy Lozano's on borrowed time for this program.
Yep.
I don't know if getting out of the group stage will save his job, to be honest with you, based on the expectations that the Mexican Federation have on its coaches. So that might be a no-win situation for them, unless they outright win it, which I don't think will happen.
Yeah. They have to have a run. They have to have a run to make a significant difference here. So, I don't know. Look, at the end of the day, it's CONCACAF. I want them all to do well because, home turf and all.
Absolutely.
But Canada, I want Canada and Mexico to not do as well at the end of the day.
Right. I wouldn't have it any other way.
Right.
U.S. Soccer moved their headquarters here.
That's right.
Why else would we be saying elsewhere?
That's right. Yeah, of course. And that's something we haven't even talked about. Celebration of the beautiful game here in Atlanta.
Yeah.
And you've got U.S. Soccer's headquarters, their new facilities being built, 15 miles as the crow flies from where we're standing right now.
15 miles probably feels like 50.
Yeah, traffic. That's why I said as the crow flies. You get on a helicopter, you'll be there quickly.
Exactly.
Oh, the good old crow flies adage, something you can't say here at all in Atlanta. Good luck getting there at that time that the GPS says.
Right.
45 minutes away from an hour and a half.
Exactly.
All the time.
But I do think, we were talking about how this tournament is just a beautiful backdrop, not only for the stadium that you're playing in, but also, precursor for other tournaments. Who else has this?
Right.
We have a roof.
We've got a retractable roof at that. Thank God it's closed today. Right. Thank God it's for those men. I saw it was 90 plus outside.
Feels like almost 100.
Forget that. That's not happening. That's why
you know what's funny? They'll still have hydration breaks.
Right.
Even though they're inside.
Are they really?
Yeah, they'll still do it.
As they should.
It's weird.
Got to keep them hydrated.
I'm not running.
Nope.
That seems tiring to me.
Let me ask this real quick. So I see we have some new Argentine fans coming in. Some people that have been sitting here for most of the show so far. Raise your hand if this is your first time coming to Mercedes-Benz. First time? Hey, raise them up. I see you.
3.
Raise them up.
Okay,
Friends
we
from
got
Canada,
a few
first
first-timers
time.
at the Benz.
Wait till you get inside. That's all I'm going to say. Wait till you get
Blown
inside.
away.
And Canada/Argentina fans up here. What do y'all think about Jesse Marsh? Thumbs up, thumb down?
Your
Yay,
new manager.
nay?
Do we like
Thumbs
him?
up.
Okay. Take a thumbs up.
He's a sweet guy.
Yeah.
He's as close to an American Canadian I've ever met in my life.
And as close to Ted Lasso as I've ever.
Yeah, for sure.
By far.
He is
So-
the Ted Lasso of guys, for sure.
Absolutely. If we can just get him to grow a mustache, we're rolling. So, yeah, I just don't think the lineups are going to drop before we necessarily get done here. But just for a few minutes, we'll pivot, talk about another Argentine who is a little near and dear to Atlanta's heart, and that is Thiago Almada,
Yes.
who saved the game last night versus DC. Atlanta coming away with a 1-0 win.
Still can't
and
get over that
He
goal.
took it from
Hey, that was a beautiful goal.
That's it.
half field, it felt like, right?
yeah.
He took it deep in the half, then jukes through what felt like 5,
Yeah,
6 defenders,
everybody.
and then his shot on a goal from outside the box to finish it like that. Chef's kiss.
Chef's
Okay,
kiss
it's-
all day.
Mateus Cliche still doesn't know where he is.
Yeah, he's still searching.
He's still looking
He's
for
trying to figure out where in the world Almada went to. And that's a little messy right there. No, but it was a necessary thing both for Atlanta and for Almada. He needed it. He needed it desperately. He's got these rumors, rolling around about going to Botafogo in Brazil, Lyon in France, the weird kind of relationship there.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, he is in Atlanta right now, and he is the best player on Atlanta squad, and he's got to perform. And
Right.
as much as we talk about how he shouldn't have to pick the team up on his back and carry it, that's essentially what he did last night. I mean, don't get me wrong, the rest of the team played a solid game. It was ugly. It was very ugly.
Yeah.
But they got the win, and they got to win probably the most crucial point that they could have got, because it has been so bad recently.
Yeah. And I wonder if that could be a turning point for him personally, because we all know his season hasn't been up to snuff. I mean, look at his numbers from last season. People were talking about MVP. Even coming to this season, we're talking about he could be an MVP candidate, and that's not going to happen. But maybe for him, as a personal milestone, this could be a turning point for him. Obviously, he will be out on Saturday against St. Louis. Obviously, he'll be at the Olympics later in the year, but for the time that he is here before the Olympic break, maybe he can get to a vein of form that can really elevate Atlanta United and show that he is the player that is among the best in MLS. So it could be a little bit of a big moment for him, a moment that we look back on. Now, if he goes back to the same way he was playing, we don't want that, but we could look back on this moment and say, hey, this is when Thiago Almada turned things around for himself in 2024.
From your mouth to God's ears, man.
Yeah.
I hope so. I hope you're right. I just find he is going to have to mature in front of our eyes a little sooner. With Gigi leaving, I think his star has to shine so bright right now that I'm not trying to be a pessimist or just counter whatever you just said. However, that was his 5th goal this whole season so far?
I believe that was 5, yeah.
Yeah.
His 5th goal thus far. I don't know if he can do it alone. I'm hoping for some other unsung heroes to really pick up the slack, but I think right now we are putting a lot of pressure on Thiago Almada, right? Deservedly so. I mean, we're looking at selling this guy whenever we do for record-breaking transfers, but he's got to earn that, and I think sadly he's having to earn that at the cost of being the lone man in Atlanta United right now.
Yeah, but Rob kind of challenged the guys last night. He said, the rest of the team has to play well. So I think he's saying, it doesn't have to be all Almada. Every other person on that roster needs to do their job, including Saturday when he won't play. Like, who's going to step up for Atlanta United? Will it be Firmino maybe potentially filling in that spot? Will it be Brennan? Will it be whoever starts at striker, whether it's Daniel Rios or TRA? You have a lot of names that could kind of fill, not like for like, obviously, but can fill that void as a key player for them on Saturday against the St. Louis team that, like DC, has been struggling recently. So who is that player for them, not just Saturday, but this entire season that can kind of take that weight, like you're saying, Tony, off of Almada's back?
I think last night we saw Brad Guzan do that.
Oh, for sure.
With some amazing saves.
Enormous save late.
Team of the week.
I've never wanted to look like that when I'm 40 ever in my life. But man, he has got some agility still left.
Yeah.
But I mean, you expect that with your stalwart in Brad Guzan. I think I'd like to see a little bit more production out of Jande Silva, as well as Muyumba. We saw him going up the field a lot last night. So I mean, outside of your anchor, who I think Guzan again is forcibly in that role to be, that's why you have him there. I'd like to see Muyumba do a lot more and Silva kind of earn his stripes, metaphorically speaking.
Yeah, and I've been saying it for a couple of weeks now, and I know that he can't play every single match, but Dax McCarty is the guy for the next 2 months for this team.
You want to talk about another great, aging gracefully. That slide tackle he did
in the final 10 kept going.
Again, beautiful. When I'm 40, I wish.
That's what I'm saying.
I'm already there. Like, I can't move this half as well as he can.
To get you in the media game next year. Be on this team, back to back. Let's go.
I felt for his knees and shins. I mean, that whole right side on that tackle he did. Oh my goodness, stepped up huge.
Yeah, that was huge. But that's the thing. He brings a leadership. He has been that Jeff Larentowicz guy that everybody's been asking for Atlanta. So, yeah, I mean, look, everybody said this was going to be the toughest part of the season for Atlanta because they have so many guys out. You got guys in Copa America. You got guys in the Olympics. You got guys in Euros. It's the summer of soccer for everybody but Atlanta, it seems like. So you've got to step up, and you have to – and maybe this is the perfect time for Rob Valentino to take charge because all he cares about is what's in front of him, and he's going to motivate his players and get the most out of them. It doesn't matter if your name is Thiago Almada or if you are, Matias Gajardo, who's getting called up for a one-day deal, essentially. Like, he expects the same out of everybody, and I think – the biggest thing is he holds them accountable.
Yeah.
And that's why you had a different result last night.
Based off what we've seen Rob Valentino do before, I don't think he leaves this club in a worse shape than he found it. So I definitely think we'll at least be good. I don't know how good, but to your credit, and that's why I say the two signings we had last year, season and a half ago, that's why I say those need to step up because I don't think right now this is the training ground for your academy players that you've promoted. I think right now you're needing to prove your worth, why we signed you, both from France. Let's make it happen because I just fear that we're going to be asking a lot from these guys they're just not seasoned. They're not ready for the big time yet. I hope I'm wrong.
Yeah.
But based off the competition that's out there, you look at Columbus, you look at Miami. I mean, it's not stopping right now, and Atlanta needs to be on an upward trajectory. And what was that? We broke a winless streak, which was great.
Right. Yeah. Finally.
But that was what, in 10 games?
Yeah, I mean, well, you had the Miami game, right? The one against Miami, that was great, but then you fell off the face of the earth again right after that.
This is correct.
So, yeah, I mean, you've got to get some consistency going. That's the biggest thing is you have to take what you did last night, and really you should have taken what you did against Miami, and you got to build on it. It doesn't matter, again, who the players are that are taking the pitch. That starting 11, whoever it is, needs to come out and expect to win the game. I don't care if you're at home here at Mercedes-Benz Stadium or if you're up in St. Louis, whatever. You've got to come out with the mindset that you will win no matter what.
You know who did impress was Efrain Morales.
Efrain. My
terrific.
son.
Another terrific performance from him.
My fifth son.
Yeah, he had that one giveaway in the second half. But other than that, really did put a foot wrong all night.
He put Christian Benteke in his pocket.
Yeah.
And give Rob Valentino credit, too, for seeing the first game against DC, seeing what went wrong and changing everything to get a result. And look, again, it was ugly. It was garbage soccer. But you got 3 points out of it. And that's, at the end of the day, that's what matters. Get back home after the St. Louis match and start getting things back under control.
Right. So who starts in Almada's place on Saturday? Is it
I think it's Firmino. I think it's Nick Firmino.
Yeah.
I think that's the easiest
like
one.
For like.
You have to go into it, though. You can't expect Nick Firmino to play the way Thiago Almada does. He's not the same player, not the same character. Nick Firmino plays almost as a pseudo number 9, a false number 9, but he also plays as a number 8, like an attacking-oriented number 8. There's a lot of things that Nick Firmino could do. He's just a different player. He's not going to have the freedom to go out wide and do all the things that a traditional number 10, a Lionel Messi, a Thiago Almada, a Lucho Acosta, like those guys do. He's going to be more stuck where he is, but you're going to get a lot out of him in that area. And I think that's what you have to, if you're Rob Valentino, that's what you have to tell him. Stick to the game plan. Have freedom, but let's, leave the wings to the wingers, leave the defense to the defense, help them out when you need to.
Right.
But you are a goal scorer at the end of the day. Won awards and for the twos last year. So let him go play his game. Let him go get at the top of the box and take shots, win headers. That's what he's good at. Don't expect anything else out of it.
Right. I was a little surprised to see Luke Brennan not in the lineup in the starting 11 yesterday, but I think he does start on Saturday. I think he was left out of the 11 with the intent to start him against St. Louis.
Yeah.
So I think we do see him.
And I think he fits the match against St. Louis better because he's so aggressive. And St. Louis, they're going to play Red Bull soccer. They're going to play counterattacking and pressing soccer. Yep. So you get a kid like Luke Brennan that's going to go in there and he's going to frustrate them. He's going to irritate them. He's going to bother them with his footwork and just his wild youth, legs and going kind of crazy at defenses and doing things that he probably shouldn't be doing or has any business doing, getting under people's skin. I think it fits the match against St. Louis much better than it would DC last night.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, so we've hit Copa America. We have hit Atlanta United. We got to touch on the Euros real quick, and then we'll get back to Copa America because that's what we're all here for. Any matches that y'all have watched that have stood out?
I personally haven't had a chance to really watch everything. It's during the work day, so haven't been able to really take a look. I know England drew today.
That was a garbage soccer match, too.
So that doesn't help their chances to win Euro, but I think the big teams are still in good shape to win it. So I'll probably dive in here in the next few days, really focus on it, but yeah, we'll see.
My money's on Spain.
Let's go.
Always.
Let's go.
Always España. They don't disappoint. I was a little surprised to see the draw. I think today, right? Yeah, today.
Italy?
No. England and Denmark.
Oh, yeah.
I was surprised to see that one right there. But yeah, my money's on Spain. I think they put it together. I think when you talk about the Euros, well, just in general, England always talks a big game, but I don't know if they're winning this one. And I never bet against my elder countrymen, if you will.
Yeah, no, you look, and Spain is a safe bet, if we're being honest. Like, Spain can come alive at any time. Look, my heritage is Scotland. So that opening match was awful. 5-1 Germany. Like, it was terrible. It was miserable. But I look, there's just something beautiful about watching Germany play when they play well, because God knows they have had some recent tournaments where they've been god awful. World Cup. And to the point where they had to cancel a special on Amazon that was supposed to record Germany in the World Cup, and now it's not coming out because they sucked so bad. But then you get the Germany that goes out and beats Scotland 5-1. They've made it essentially out of the group already. So Germany's been fun to watch. But one thing that stood out to me in the Euros so far is the defense. Every team, not almost every team, has had these matches where it is very close. You have opportunities. It's not that the other teams aren't attacking and creating opportunities, but the defenses in all of these games, again, the Scotland match notwithstanding, have been phenomenal. And it reminds me of that, that old saying, like, attacks win games, defenses win championships. And I'm curious to see which one of these teams is going to falter once they get out of the group stage, because at that point we all know it's one and done. You lose, you're out. But I don't like to get excited about defensive soccer, but there's been some good defensive games in the set of Euros.
You guys still think Germany can go far and or win it?
I do. I think they're on one right now.
I would second that.
How do you think Italy will do? You think they could get away with Italy? You think they can get away with Germany repeat, or you think they can get away? They can repeat, or
no? I don't think so.
I don't think so.
I think that golden era that they had, I think it's over personally. Until they bring in a new coach and maybe alter things a little bit. I just think they had a great run, but I just don't think it was sustainable. I mean, it was long, so I guess it was sustainable in that sense. But I think there are much better teams out there than they are right now.
How about Belgium? No, I'm just kidding.
Dude, that's the biggest disappointment in the Euros so far. That drives me crazy. Like, they have the best midfielder, minus Lionel Messi, in the world right now.
Belgium never disappoints in the major tournament.
Yeah, what are you talking about? It drives me crazy. Dude, like, the fact that you have that kind of talent and you just can't win games, like, the mentality sucks. It's so bad. And I feel like we can say these things about the Euros because they're across the pond. I can't say this about Copa America right now. I might get attacked up here. But yeah, Belgium, biggest disappointment by far.
I hope in that sense, though, we don't see a defensive strategy here throughout all the group stage here at Copa America. I hope we're at high scoring. I'm looking 3-2, 4-1. I would love to see that here, just to give it a completely different basis. That's the American in me saying I want a high scoring game.
But and the South American, though, because that's a very America's thing. Like, period. Attack.
Yeah.
Make it fun.
I want to see it fun. I
agree. I want to see, again, I think Argentina is going to blow the doors off of Canada. Sorry, Canadian fans.
They're all gone.
I mean, I want this to be like a 5-2
Okay,
deal.
do we go there now? Do we go score prediction and then how far Canada makes it?
Yeah, let's go.
Okay,
What you got?
I guess I'll start. I said 5-0 earlier. I'm not going to go that high, but I will say I'm thinking 4-0. 4-0, and I don't think they could get out of the group.
Okay.
No, I think it's going to be a little more competitive. I say maybe a 3-1. I think Messi certainly scores tonight. I mean, that's low-hanging fruit, I know, but I think it's 3-1. And
plus or minus a goal. Okay.
Yeah. I do think Canada maybe does manage to get out of the group stage, just barely. It might depend on another result out in the other part of the group, but I think they do get out.
So I will say 3-0 Argentina. Look, I'm trying to give something to Canada here. If this weren't the opening game of the tournament, I would think Canada could put up a little bit of a bigger fight. But Argentina's got everything going for them right now. Like, this is hard. It's hard to beat that momentum. So 3-0 Argentina, but I do think Canada makes it out of the group. And like you, Sydney, I think it's going to be like a last second, miracle. Something's going to have to happen on that last day.
Penalty.
Yeah, it's going to be something crazy that is going to make it to where they get out of the group. It's not going to be like we played so well that we secured our spot. And again, sorry, Canada fans, but
there are no Canada fans.
At least I said you got out of the group. All right.
Oh, when I said 4-0, I meant Canada. Not a chance. Not that I don't think so. I would like to see, like I said, Jesse Marsch do well. I hope that this is not his audition to keep his job. Let's say that.
Yes.
Because I like him as a coach, and I hope he, has many more caps as a coach after this. I just don't. He got in the death group.
Yeah. He got shafted on this one. Really, Canada got shafted, and then they decided to hire him, which is kind of messed up if you think about it. But all right, we're getting close. So again, Argentina fans, because I think all the Canada fans are gone at this point. But if anybody wants to get up here, we're actually live on YouTube and everything right now. If you want to get up here, give your prediction. By all means, come on up.
At Twitch.
Come on up and give your 2 cents. The mic is open for you. If you want. Hey, come on, let's go. I like it.
Our
It's
Canadian
so nice
friend.
to get volunteers.
Yeah, absolutely.
Come on back.
Yeah.
Prediction.
Yes. What do you think?
What's your name?
I'm Marty from Canada. Born in Buenos Aires.
But it's all right.
Yeah,
Okay.
Buenos Aires.
What part of Canada do you live in?
Winnipeg. Right in the
Winnipeg,
middle.
okay.
Coldest part, man.
Okay.
I think it's going to be a 3-1 Argentina win. I think we got goals from Messi, a long shot goal from McAllister, and then we're going to get some sort of header goal from like Otamendi or like someone from the defense on a corner kick. Di Maria swung in, nice hard corner kick. Otamendi on the end of it.
That's the name we haven't heard is Alexi McAllister.
Yeah.
So.
I mean, and people forget about him, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's why he's so good at times, right? I mean, look, there's so much talent on that team. What was your name again?
Marty.
Marty.
Cheers, Marty.
Round of applause for Marty. There we go.
Even the Canadian is still betting on Argentina.
I know, right?
That's what I'm saying. That's the daunting task they have ahead of them.
Yeah, it's tough.
But he gave a point for Canada. He's still got to go back home. So
Right.
That's right. You got to make it back into the country, Marty. So I'm glad you gave at least 1 goal to Canada.
Get detained at the border.
Yeah. Anybody else? The mic is open if you want to come up here.
Who else?
I mean, we really milked
Quiet.
what could have been the shortest conversation into a hour-long podcast.
Yes, we did.
But hey, by golly, we did it.
We did it. We made it. We also want to make sure you guys get over to the bins. I'm assuming everybody in here is actually going across the way here, right? Nope. You hanging out in here? Hang out in here and watch, or you just hanging out?
It's a good bar.
Bruno.
It's a good bar. Good atmosphere.
Bruno was like, I'm not getting tickets.
Our
to
guy,
Sixers. I
Bruno.
get you.
Thanks for coming, man.
Yeah, quick shout out to Bruno.
Bruno is a Patreon member as well. You should
right.
add. Hint, hint. Patreon.com/.
Bruno, you want your 2 cents? Look, you can get up here and go on about Atlanta United if you want to. Hey, come on. It's up to you. I'm not pressuring you, but it's up to you. You want to talk about Atlanta? Or do you want to give a prediction?
Come on.
A little
Get up here.
goal,
Let's get up here.
goal prediction. Here we go.
Let's go.
Our guy.
What I think 3-1 today.
3-1.
Argentina. Goal Fonse Davis, Messi. You know what? Just for the heck of it, Otamendi.
Okay.
You know?
Got 2 for Otamendi. Okay.
And then Alvarez.
Alvarez. Okay. Very nice. Very nice.
Sweet.
I like
man.
that not only
Appreciate it, buddy.
not only is their goal prediction, but it's also who is scoring that goal.
Yeah.
That is how much of a mollywop that we are expecting from this side right now.
So I'll put mine out there. Messi, Brace, and Julian Alvarez with a solid team goal. Sorry, Canada.
I like the Julian Alvarez, nod there. I like that. I think Messi, at least what I said 4, so I got to make that up. Yeah, I'd say I like McAllister, and then I like a brace for Messi, and then we'll give in the second half, Julian. I'll even give you a half prediction on the 57th minute.
Okay.
From Alvarez.
Oh, you're going.
Hey, sorry. So everybody grab that receipt. Grab that receipt right now. You didn't. If only betting was legal in Georgia.
You know what I'm saying? 57th minute for Julian Alvarez.
Let's go.
I think it's the funniest thing that McAllister has a brother named Kevin. If you know, you know. I'm sure he'll be hoping that he and his Argentinian teammates don't go home alone without a trophy.
There's so many memes here that are possible from this.
All right, I'm done.
He's like, I'm done.
Good night.
I peaked. I'm out. I'm done. All right, cool. Any final thoughts?
We gave too many favors to Canada just by doing this podcast.
Hey. Hey.
Big night. So enjoy the matches if you're going. If you're watching, definitely enjoy the matches as well. But big night, big showcase for this big building behind us. So gonna be a fun tournament, I think.
Absolutely. We'll be out here next week for the U.S. match. U.S. is playing Panama. We will actually be doing some other stuff as well. Looking at doing possibly a giveaway and looking at possibly having a guest from U.S. Soccer coming out and talking, hanging out with us. So If you are at home watching this,
Come on out.
come out. Just come out and hang out. Even if you're not going across to the bins, look, they have this massive Halo board in here that you can watch the game on if you want to.
This is
Yeah.
sweet.
It is pretty sweet. It is pretty sweet. And then, yeah, I mean, if you are here and you're still in town, come back out. Come back
Yeah.
out and watch the U.S. men's national team.
I'll be at the beach. So
Oh,
I will
all
not
right
be
then.
there.
Or you can do that.
I wish I don't wish I heard because I'll be happy to be at the beach. I mean, it's with
100%.
my girlfriend and her family, so
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
looking forward to that. But that's why I won't be here.
Hey, that's cool. Look, I'm never going to blame anybody for going to the beach.
Right.
I don't care what it is.
You'll be here in spirits.
Absolutely.
Exactly.
All right, cool, guys. We appreciate it. We're the Scarves and Spikes podcast. We appreciate y'all hanging out with us, listening to us chatter for an hour.
Yes.
And I hope y'all enjoy a good match in a little bit. We appreciate it.
Thanks, everyone. Take care.